Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for no video last week. Me and my wife actually were on vacation down in sunny Florida. We went to Miami and then down to the Keys. Had an awesome time all week. For those of you that don't know, I work in IT at a software company that deals with corporate finance. So, 40 hours a week I'm staring at a screen and really, using my brain. So it was nice to just go and disconnect for a week, turn off all the screens, and completely, just not be staring at anything other than, what was in front of us and enjoying the time we had. So I did manage to still get about 50 orders through the website, so thank you for everyone that put in an order. Just be patient. I am just getting back into the office, so to speak, which is my warehouse, but I will fill the orders as soon as I can get to them and get them out as fast as we possibly can. I did want to show this off. This is, I bought this down in Florida actually, but we would call this a wake bait, if it were for freshwater fishing, but they use this to catch like giant tarpon, and basically this lip just holds it about a foot under the water, but this thing is like the size of my arm. It's like, 9-10 inches across. Big, thick bait. But, yeah, they catch giant tarpon on these things, and I just thought it was a super interesting thing to have and hang up in the shop. I'll probably never fish this. I think it might be kind of funny to take this out and fish it freshwater and catch a bass on it, but probably won't ever happen with hooks this big. So, alright, that being said, we have one other thing we are going to talk about. We were using Calhoun's plastic. If you don't know, I buy my plastic in 55-gallon drums, straight from manufacturers. And we are trying this out. Big manufacturers, if you're going to buy a drum from them, they will more than happily send, a 1-gallon tester for you to try out their plastic. There is a process you have to go through. You can't just, say, hey, I want to buy a 55-gallon drum and then get, a free gallon and just repeat that over and over again, for free plastic. That's not how it works at all. There is a process you go through. They'll take your business, your EIN, all that sort of stuff, put you in the system. But they will send you a test gallon to try out their plastic, and that's what this is right here. I've actually poured a couple baits with it. Super happy with this so far. This is probably going to be my next 55-gallon drum. And with that being said, we'll get into the video. Today we are going to test out this color called Shrimp Brown from LureWorks. Now, it has been a long time since I've been to the eye doctor, but this looks like a gray to me. And I will say, I've definitely been surprised by colors before, as far as saturation levels and what they actually look like and all that sort of stuff, and the name. We've done some colors on this channel where the name didn't match what the color was at all. So I don't know. You tell me. I think this looks like a gray to me, but it's called Shrimp Brown. So we're gonna pour some shrimp. So I've got these shrimp molds. We normally sell shrimp to our saltwater crowd, and we do 3 colors. So we do 4. We do mocha, which is like a brown inside of the shrimp. We do a red, which is, red, kind of looks very natural. And then we do a gold, and we'll probably just pick another random color and do a 4th color. But that is our mold, and that is what we're going to shoot today. We will be back as soon as our plastic is ready. Okay, we are back. Our plastic is ready, and as you can see, this is perfectly clear plastic. This is why people use this stuff. I know that's a sticker on the bottom. That's not burnt plastic. I know several other manufacturers that are actually using the medium porosol from LureWorks, and this is why right here. This is completely clear in the cup. No bubbles, no odor. Incredible. Okay, so we got half a cup. We're going to do 10 drops in this one, and then I guess we'll do 20 drops in this one. That would, of course, mimic, 20 drops for a full cup or 40 drops for a full cup. There's 10 in that one. Alright, and that is 21 in this one. Mix them both up. This is the 10 drops. Now, I don't know about you, but this looks very gray to me, which, I mean, I guess isn't a bad thing, but definitely not close to the name shrimp brown. I mean, shrimp gray, maybe. And this is a much darker, the 20 drops. So, alright, to that, we're going to do, let's do red in the 10 drops. We'll just do an 1/8. And then we will do mocha in the 20 drops. And we will see how those come out. My thinking is that for the super saturated version, which would be like, 40 drops that we'll do next, maybe put some gold-flake in there, that way it's a little bit more reflective. There you go. Not anything to write home about right now. Perhaps once we shoot it in the mold, we will be a bit more impressed with this color. There's the mocha. 4 ounces of plastic, little tiny 4-ounce injector, and of course a bunch of little air. Alright, so here's the 10 drops with the red flake. Alright, and let's go with the 20 drops with the brown flake. I'm just bleeding out the injector. When you suck up air like that, you don't want to shoot it into the bait. Alright, and we will be right back for the demold on these. Okay, we're back. So, this is the 10 drops off the end of the injector with the red. And like I said, guys, it's been a long time since I've been to the eye doctor, but this does not look brown to me at all. There's no brown in this. This is a very gray, looks actually kind of like plaster. This is the 20 drops, and this is even more gray. This reminds me of, like, anybody's wives ever do like face masks, and I don't know, it looks like this like gray clay, or gardening also, they have this clay you can spray on trees. But this is a very, very dark gray. There's no brown in this. The only brown in this is the flake that I added. So, let's go ahead and open up these molds and see what we got. I don't think that a gray is necessarily a bad thing. Shrimp in the wild are kind of a gray. But, the labeling of it, maybe it should be called shrimp gray, or natural shrimp, or something to that effect, right? So this is the red. This would be the 20 drops per cup, or 10 drops for our half a cup that we did. I think that I think this lighter saturation is alright if you want a more realistic color, but I think that this red is just not playing very well. Like, in other words, if I were going to look at a shrimp in a natural, like in the ocean or in a lake or wherever you find shrimp, I don't think that it would be this gray with like red speckles. A clear body with red speckles, yes. right? But like, because that just kind of looks like organs on the inside. Or just this gray with no flake, yes. Because like I said, shrimp are kind of a natural gray in the wild. They don't come, you know, pink like you buy them at the store or anything. So that is the 10 drops. Let's go ahead and open up the other one. Alright, and that is an even darker. We got a little pit where it didn't fill in. Totally cold mold, didn't hold pressure, you know. Now this one, much darker. Face mask clay. Or you know what it looks like if when you guys were kids, did you ever just like dig a hole until you found mud, you know, make like mud patties? That's what this looks like. The dirt that becomes the mud patty. And again, I think that this brown flake, it's called mocha. I don't really see that it's doing it much justice. I think that it's because this gray is so saturated that it's just not really shining through. It's just not really adding anything to the bait. Yeah, you could probably do like, you know, black flake or something like that, and that would show up, but I just don't see that. And even, you know, in the light, this is just such a very saturated color. It's just not adding a lot as far as, you know, light hitting it underwater or anything. So next up, we're going to do, I was going to do the saturations heavier. So we're going to do one heavier saturation. We're going to do the same half a cup of plastic, but we're going to do 40 drops, which of course would be super saturated. That would imitate, you know, 80 drops in a cup. And then we're going to do 5 drops for like a super light saturation. That would be 10 drops in a cup. For the 40 drops, we'll probably do this gold, nice and bright. And then I'll pick, we might do some like holographic silver in the 5 drops and just see how that looks. So we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. We've got our plastic ready to go. We're going to do 5 drops in this. That's 5, and then we're going to do 40 in this. Alright, that is 40 drops, and this is super dark gray. Our 5 drops, just lighter than the previous. Alright, to the 5 drops, we're going to do some of this holographic silver. And to the 40 drops, we're going to do some of this gold, just so that we have something that really stands out. There we go. There's the silver. That doesn't look terrible. This is the gold. I think that it's still so saturated that you can barely see. Again, I think that this color is just such a saturated color that, you know, even the brightest gold flake is having problems showing up. This is our 5-drop. The benefit to having aluminum counters is that you can just wipe all of this off. And there's our 40 drop. We'll be right back once these are ready to demold. Okay, we are back. Let's go ahead and open these up. These both felt a little weird as I was shooting them, so I would not be surprised if they are messed up. Yep. That's okay. We have most of the body of one, missing a tail. Now, as far as colors go, I think 5 drops, 10 drops per cup, I don't think this looks bad. With the holographic flake, this is not bad. This I could see actually throwing. You can definitely see the flake. If you were to put this is kind of closer to what a real shrimp is. Just this kind of light gray. I think if you were to put this under a popping cork, this would be a surefire bet. So there is the 5 drops. We'll save one. Now let's open up our super saturated 40 drops. That would be, of course, 80 drops in a cup, which is more than you would ever use. I mean, that's just a very saturated amount. Now, I actually don't think that this looks terrible. But it's because we use the gold flake. So this is just a very, very saturated color. It looks like a dark, dark gray. But the gold is actually shining through it. So I do like this gold flake. I think that perhaps in a lighter saturation with the gold flake, I think that this would probably be a winning color. So, there we go. We will be right back for a last look. Okay, we are back. This is last look. This is all the baits we poured in the order we poured them. This was 10 drops with the red. Not really a fantastic color, I don't think. This was 20 drops with the copper. Getting less fantastic. It's such a saturated color, I don't feel like this copper did it any justice. Moving on, we did 5 drops with the silver, the holographic silver. I actually really like how this turned out. I would definitely throw this. And then we had the super saturated 40 drops with gold. And I actually think that this turned out really well, but it's because the gold is able to shine through the saturation of the color. If this were like 5 drops, like if we use this saturation but this flake, I think that it would look really good. Probably catch fish too. So there you go. That is shrimp brown, and as you guys can see, or maybe I'm just blind. This looks gray to me, but like I said, I've been mistaken in the past. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments.